Among the many unsettling figures in Silent Hill F, few are as enigmatic as Fox Mask. His true identity, Suniki Kotoyuki, born as Fujitori Kotoyuki, isn't revealed until the very end, and most of his history can be missed entirely unless you are a dedicated lore hunter or familiar with nuances of Japanese adoption traditions. Kotoyuki, under the guise of Fox Mask, acts as a strange companion and guide for Hinako as she explores the Dark Shrine, a twisted reflection of a traditional Shinto jinja. Although styled like an inari shrine, this one is dedicated to a fearsome nine-tailed kitsune. With his ceremonial robes, formal way of speaking, and his apparent ability to wield supernatural powers, the game heavily implies he is the shrine's priest. But how and why he holds this role is something that requires digging deeper. At first, Fox Mask aids Hinako in navigating the horrors of the Dark Shrine, but his ghost-like appearance, fading away only to return later, hints that he is more spirit than man. There is a reason for this haunting presence, and we'll get to that later. In the real Ebisu shown at the start of the game, Hinako clashes with her father. He wants to marry her off to a wealthy family outside of town, ignoring her wishes. After this argument, Hinako storms outside, wandering towards town. Along the way, she overdoses on the red capsules Shu has been prescribing to her, which triggers the beginning of her disturbing hallucinations, marked by the bright and white, the mysterious fox, and the blooming red lilies. On the second playthrough, Hinako can explore the neighboring house once belonging to Kotoyuki, where she finds letters he left behind, promising to marry her someday, along with a small kimono-clad bride. These clues tie directly into optional endings unlocked later in the game. The letters abruptly end when Kotoyuki writes that he is moving away, and after that, his fate becomes a mystery until much later. The town of Ebisu itself has long been fascinated by foxes. Notes scattered throughout the game describe inari worship alongside rumors that foxes had spirited missing children away. In Japanese folklore, foxes, or kitsune, are magical beings. They serve the god Inari, shapeshift into human form, possesses mortals, and wield unique supernatural powers. They embody both divinity and trickery, capable of being benevolent guardians or malicious deceivers. So why is Kotoyuki so tied to foxes? Because as a child, he was bitten by one. Around the same period, tragedy struck the prestigious Tsuneki clan. A mysterious illness killed multiple family members, leaving the lineage without an heir. In post-war Japan, family succession carried enormous cultural weight. Every family needed a head, usually a patriarch, to oversee the clan, its branches, and its affairs. But heredity wasn't everything. Adoption was a legitimate way to continue a bloodline. Kotoyuki was chosen to fill that role, so he was adopted into the Tsuneki clan, given their surname and elevated to the position of heir, as though he had been born into the family. From then on, he was known as Suniki Kotoyuki. It is believed he later trained as a priest and possibly became the master of an important shrine, perhaps even Sonoyoshi Jingu, a grand shrine known for its wedding rituals and ceremonies. This would neatly align with the game's theme of matrimony, ritual, and spiritual duty. And years later, Hinako's father sought a wealthy husband for her to secure financial stability. Remembering Kotoyuki, once a childhood acquaintance, now part of the influential Tsuneki, he likely saw the perfect opportunity. As a fox mask, Kotoyuki embodies everything Hinako yearns for as her mind fractures under the weight of trauma and delusion. He is calm, protective, and unshaken by the terrors of the Dark Shrine. He also leads her through a series of grim rituals. The first ritual forces Hinako to sever her own arm, which is then replaced with the monstrous limb of a wolf. The second ritual brands her with a crest, possibly the Tsuneki family symbol, marking her as adopted into the clan through marriage. And the final ritual grants Hinako her own fox mask, a traditional Shinto wedding act completing their union as husband and wife. This connection between Kotoyuki, Hinako, and marriage also explains why the main antagonist manifests as a kimono-clad bride, a nightmarish reflection of Hinako's fear about being forced into marriage. She passes through the ritual wedding without question, almost as though her fate had already been sealed. But Kotoyuki roll varies depending on which ending the player achieves. The default ending on a first playthrough, here Kotoyuki barely appears, but the dialogue confirms he is Hinako's real-world fiancé, not just a delusion. Hinako finds peace, supported by both Shu and Kotoyuki. Shu even recalls that Kotoyuki was their childhood friend before moving away, reuniting them as a trio. The title references the folklore of Kitsune no Yumiri, a phenomenon where sunlight and rain occur simultaneously, believed to be an omen of good fortune. In this darker outcome, Kotoyuki becomes possessed or revealed as a true multi-tailed kitsune. Driven to claim Hinako as his bride, he transforms into a monstrous fox spirit. Hinako rejects this faith, battling him for her freedom. The final reveal shows Ebisu being covered by poisonous gas after a geyser eruption, suggesting that everything may be a product of hallucination from mass poisoning. Perhaps the most revealing ending, Hinako confronts another version of herself, and Kotoyuki intervenes. The kitsune speaks through him, explaining that every few generations, a girl with divine power is born, and when that happens, a curse binds the Tsuneki heir to pursue her in marriage. This was Kotoyuki's fate. Hinako chooses to fight for him, defeating the kitsune and acknowledging her growing love for him. The dual versions of Hinako then return to Ebisu, pondering their futures, one open to loving Kotoyuki and the other determined to pour her soul into something yet unknown. A comedic UFO ending which adds little to the lore, but undeniably entertaining. In the end, Kotoyuki is one of Silent Hill F's most compelling figures, a man caught between humanity and supernatural, shaped by fate, folklore, and family duty. His fox mask, with its organic textures and glowing golden eyes, symbolizes that duality, not merely a man pretending to be a fox, but a soul forever linked to the spiritual realm. Whether ally, husband, or enemy, Kotoyuki stands at the heart of Hinako's story, and perhaps, just maybe, a future where she could find both love and peace. Please, if you enjoyed this video, kindly hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell icon so you can get notified when I drop new videos like this, as I am desperately trying to get to 1K subscribers by the end of this year. And until next time, peace and love.
Incredible.